Welcome to ATP Customs. Well, you're getting a weekly report this week because I'm behind. I haven't been doing a lot of videos in the past week. Been busy. So you get a weekly report on what's going on in the shop today. What am I doing? I am cleaning everything under the hood of the VW, little Cabriolet, cleaning all the hoses and the wiring. I want this thing all nice and clean before anything goes in here. That is how I like to do things. Look at that hood. Isn't that all nice and clean? It's in really good shape. Just a tiny bit of rust starting right there. And we have a new ignition in this thing. Learned something new today. Key was broken off. Had to get Mr. White involved in this because I've never seen one of these ignitions. And apparently, that little piece right there, you need to drill a hole in the top of your column to push that piece down to pop it out. The hole that's there was Mr. White missing the first time because you can't see what you're doing. Second time he got it, and that's how you get these things out. It's kind of neat. New ignition, about $100. You get 2 keys with it, right there, and it just pops right in. So that's pretty cool. And apparently we get to do a Lexus color on this. It is a blizzard white with pearl and metallic. And he would like all of the gap here for the molding. He wants that gone. Get rid of all of the lights and all of the emblems. He wants them all welded in and cleaned up. So that's pretty cool. We get to smooth this thing out. And I have been thrown a curveball. The wheels he has picked out for this are purple. We have to make this thing awesome with purple wheels. They are actually pretty cool though. So that means you can't do purple wheels unless you do some cool lights on this thing. So the plan is we have the motor all prepped, the transmission. We are missing the flex plate and the valve cover. So I have to find parts for this thing, and parts are not easy to get right now. So I'm going to be on the hunt. This thing is going to leave the shop today. We have everything prepped for when it comes back. As soon as I find some parts, we can actually drop the engine and transmission in. And I have figured out what turbo kit I want to use on this. I found one. It's called Laurent Motors. It's in France. I've already contacted the company and it seems to be shipping to Canada. Doesn't seem to be a problem. So they have different stages, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. I have to find out a little more about this motor. It is from an 85 Sirocco and it is built with low compression. Brand new everything. So that is the next step, is sourcing parts. So the VW's leaving the shop, making some room. It's a very exciting week. The C10 is coming along. All of the cab corners are done. All the rockers are done. Turns out the roof was full of mud and Bondo. So that all had to be stripped. The rust along the windshield has all been repaired. Mr. White actually cut out little pieces, welded in all new ones. Over there was quite a large piece, but it's all good now. It won't be rusting under the windshield. And he is getting close. We will have should have all the box and parts, rad support here Wednesday for it. So we can proceed. We are primering this week finally. That is getting primer this week. I know I said over and over, we're getting to it, but we're waiting on that one right now. So when he starts spraying primer this week, that one's getting primer too. The C10 is going to be flying along by next week. We'll be through a lot of the tough part of it. And on to the Wheelies. What's going on with the Wheelies? Well, the automatic transmission swap has not worked out. We were not able to locate any type of flex plate for switching it to an automatic. They did make one, but if anybody can find one in Canada, good luck, because we've made a lot of calls and have not been able to source one. The only option was to take a flywheel from I believe it was a 350 small block would work, cut it off and weld a flex plate onto it. I am not interested in doing such a feat. And those kinds of things are going to blow the budget. And right now we're dealing with steering column issues. Now this is some type of GM steering column. probably an S10 or something. And what happens is it lands directly where the header needs to come off of here. So we are weighing out options and studying steering columns right now to see what is the best route to do. We are probably going to go with a 28-inch steering column, and just hopefully we can get enough parts to make it work, because it has to come out a long ways in order to clear that. So we're not having fun with that, but we'll get through it. It is what it is, and that's kind of holding all the wiring up. We can't wire the steering column and everything up. All the gauges are done, that kind of stuff, but yeah, that's causing us some grief right now. We are going to have to make custom headers and get creative with the steering. And I know guys do it all the time. It just happens to be one of those projects that we get to learn new parts about it. So the Wheelies is coming along a little slower. We were hoping this was going to be a quick, easy build. Oh no, this is way more work than we ever imagined. Found all sorts of issues with it, but we're getting through them. Would like to have it gone in another 2 weeks, hopefully. Oh, and our new headlights are still on back order. We've been waiting a month and a half for those. They have the little LED signals in them so that we don't have to cut or drill holes in the body to mount funny looking signals anywhere. I'm just going to try and keep it nice and clean. So once we get through all of this tough stuff, then we can look at putting fun parts like a light bar, hopefully wheel lights, wheels and tires. We are kind of burning through the budget more than we planned on. So we'll see. That's what sucks when you have limited budgets. You can't get to all the fun stuff till you get through all the difficult stuff first. So, on to the next thing. My 93 Suburban, the very first ATP Customs vehicle. The fuel tank was completely rotted. It had a ton of rust weighing it down. And it was literally rusted right through and dripping. So, fuel tank is out, and we will have a brand new fuel sending unit and fuel pump in this week for it. So I'm going to have to clean all the fuel lines all the way up to the motor. And then a gentleman has requested, he wants to hear the 15-inch sub in this thing. So that means I have to buy a new deck after we do the fuel tank. And we have to hook up my Alpine amp and that 15-inch kicker and see how awesome it sounds in this big bass cannon. So, Suburban should be running by the end of the week, and the Zombie is also coming back in this week. Got a few more things I got to do to it. So we have lots of changeover going on, along with the Monster Blazer. Monster Blazer is leaving the shop. The Monster Blazer is kind of in the way right now, so I don't have the loot to throw at it yet. So the Monster Blazer is going to go sit in the paint booth. And we are going to bring back in the 1949 Ford pickup, the all-original restoration, because we have the motor back finally. The flathead 6-cylinder that took so long to get parts for that they actually had to pour new pistons for it. That took, I think, 10 months just for the pistons. Well, it's ready to come back in and get finished. So you will see the 49 Ford sitting there by the end of the week, because I have parts all over the shop for that thing still. So we might as well get that thing done, make ourselves some room, and we can get on to the fun stuff. I'm really trying to get to my Corvette this year. That would be just awesome to get on the Corvette before spring. So yes, we have a lot to do as always. But we're having fun. This is the really fun time, is changeover time. It's my favorite time because then things get exciting. And of course we're getting into winter, so the plow truck's going to have its tires changed over and the plow thrown on it. Now it's got big monster subs in it. That thing's going to be really fun this year. What I am hoping for is that I will drive this for the winter and pull my Dodge dually off the road and rebuild my Dodge the way I want, with an 8-inch lift kit and 22s. Kind of things are lining up that maybe we can get started on that in November. We shall see. I don't know if that 67 Caddy that's coming in is going to take a lot of room up in the shop, so we'll keep shuffling until I get to my Dodge. But thank you for watching, and I hope you subscribe.